What is Ben XM? Since XM means 10 million, you can also call it Ben 10 million. But here, 10 million doesn't mean 10 million aliens. Instead, this 10 million symbolizes 10 million possibilities from a future that is still being rebuilt after Batman's destruction. And Ben's mission here is to stop all of that destruction caused by Batman. Yes, Batman is the villain of this universe. We will talk about him later. This version of Ben is part of a dark, epic fantasy fan-made universe called Stellaverse, created by an Instagram creator named Saiva Stella. Sorry if I said this incorrectly, we will talk more about this universe later, but first, let's talk about Ben. This Ben's look feels like a mixture of Ben 10,000 and Ben 10 Classic Ben. There is a comparison here. You can see their looks and Omnitrix on the screen, where the Omnitrix of Ben XM looks a lot like Ben 10,000's Omnitrix. His outfit is very similar to Classic Ben. I really like the art style. It's very detailed and has a lot of character and charm to it. The Omnitrix looks like a fluid or a symbiote because you can see extra strands coming out of it. The selection screen of this Omnitrix is completely different from any other. The alien selection menu is in holographic form, but Ben has a very long and wide list of aliens in front of him. We can also see a projection like a solar system here. Whichever alien Ben selects, its design appears at the very top. When Ben transforms, this same Omnitrix wraps around his entire body like a symbiote, and then the transformation into an alien occurs, as you can see in these 4 stages of transformation. Let's talk about Ben's first alien, Heat Blast. This Heat Blast is very similar to the classic one in terms of design. Compared to the classic Heat Blast, this one's rock pattern is slightly different. The biggest difference, however, is the feet. They don't have 2 toes like in classic. Instead, they are wide and flat like Swamp Fire's. It also looks like there is an upgraded version of Heat Blast where the fire turns blue, because blue fire is hotter than your regular yellow or orange fire. Next is 4 arms. 4 arms design is quite different. You can see his face, many changes have been made here, and are those his visible ears? Plus, what are these strange glowing lights doing on his shoulders? Whatever they are, overall, I like this design. And why is his silhouette visible in the Omnitrix on the side? We just saw a moment ago that the selection screen shows the full body in holographic form, so why is there a silhouette here too? Maybe both things happen in this selection mode? I don't know. Look at XLR8. The design looks quite similar to Ben 10,000's XLR8, but the 2 major striking differences here are the visor and the feet. First of all, the visor looks very cool, like a Power Ranger helmet. I don't understand why the feet are like this because normally he has wheels, but here it looks like there are toes. Though they don't even look like toes, it looks like something else entirely. Regardless, the electricity around XLR8 gives him a very Flash-like look. We can also see Ghost Freak in the background. This Ghost Freak looks very scary. Majestically scary, if that makes sense. Extra details have been added to the classic design, like these feather-like things on the body. You can see the body, the tail, the hands. There are even extra hands coming out of the ground. On his head, there is something like a halo or Monkey King's headband, and there are shackles on his hands that tie him to the ground. We can see his skeleton glowing. Do the shackles mean they are to prevent him from escaping the Omnitrix or going out of control? If so, how can this alien even be used if he's always tied down? Moving on to Upgrade. Upgrade looks very liquidy here. You can see the technological circuit pattern inside and the details on the hands and tattoos on the body. Overall, this design is absolutely peak. Feedback is looking super cool. He has glasses like Bullfrag, but of course only for one eye, since he only has one eye. The plugs on his antennae and tail are quite narrow and thin. There is also a big difference in the feet, which look like knight's armor compared to the usual 2-toed feet. Just look at Diamond Head. He looks so cool in a knight look, a medieval knight look. Could anything be more peak than this design? The Diamond Head and knight aesthetic work together perfectly. Just look at him, he looks so shiny and cool. Diamond Head with the sword goes hard. I can't praise it enough. Big Chill looks quite similar to the original, but the cloaked form looks very realistic. I wish an uncloaked version was also there, but unfortunately, we only have the cloaked version. In the background, we can see the Council of X. Don't know anything about that, and Teen Titans Raven also there. There are many characters from multiple franchises in this universe, which I will talk about later, but for now, let's stick to Ben 10's aliens. Wildmud is very big here. One of the biggest aliens. He has some large horns and a big saddle on his back to carry people. Who is sitting back there? Oh, Kevin and Gwen are sitting there. Gwen is reading a book that is floating in the air through magic. And who is doing the magic? A character standing behind Gwen named Dipper, who belongs to the Disney show Gravity Falls. Echo Echo is very similar to the Alien Force version. There are some extra details on the body that enhance the design. We can see the Ultimatrix symbol on him even in his normal form. As he duplicates, numbers appear on the symbol depicting the number of clones. However, we can also see Ultimate Echo Echo above him. The design hasn't changed much, just the color scheme, but the overall design is the same. I don't understand where this Ultimate Echo Echo came from. Maybe this Ultimate Echo Echo is the main one, and the small normal ones are his minions that he can discharge. That's my best guess. Alien X is also here, and you can see how lovely the design is. You can see Bellicus and Serena too. But this design is not an original of Stellaverse. It is inspired by the work of another Instagram creator named Creature Feature Gonna Geecher, who has his own Ben 10 alternate universe called Ben 10, Recalibrated. You can see his Alien X design is very similar to the Stellaverse one because this is the original. Personally, I like this one more. The color scheme is good, the star pattern is unique, and the face design is great. Want to know more about Ben 10 Recalibrated? Maybe I can make a video on it, just let me know. There's also a bonus alien called Max Power, which is actually Kryptonian DNA, that is Superman. Specifically, it is based on DC's Absolute Superman. The design looks very cool, as he is shown stopping a meteoroid. There is a strange Kryptonian liquidy sparkling glow in his hands and boots. He wears a black and white uniform, and there is an amazing detail. Since the name mentions Max, if you look closely at the cape, it has the pattern of Grandpa Max's Hawaiian shirt. That is a very clever detail I didn't notice until I read the comments. Now let's look at the poster-like look of all the aliens lined up. Alien X is the biggest, but Wild Mutt is the second largest. I personally really like this scale for Wild Mutt. Kevin and Gwen are there, but Dipper has disappeared. Gwen is reading the book with her magic. But what actually is this book? What is this universe? How did it start? And who is the villain? There isn't much detail available, but I'll tell you what I know. In an alternate reality, Batman is watching Thanos' ship arrive. But in that ship, it's not Thanos, it's the character Irwin from Billy and Mandy in the form of Thanos. This Irwin Thanos has a twisted idea of justice. He gets into a fight with Batman and snaps Damian Wayne away. Batman becomes incredibly sad and angry. In the background, we see many different universes. Spider-Verse, Jake the American Dragon, Danny Phantom, etc. In his anger, Batman knocks out Thanos with a single punch and seizes the Infinity Gauntlet. Now he has the power of a god. With the power of the gauntlet, Batman mends his broken universe and rebuilds it as a perfect world where he hasn't lost his family and there is no crime. But because there's no purpose left, Batman starts feeling empty. He wants to be a hero again, so he starts creating his own villains and staging fights to show people. He starts chasing the spotlight while saving the people he loves. The bigger the villain, the more spotlight he gets. Batman has become hungry for attention. Then, we see a dog bringing a book, the same book Gwen was reading. It says, "The one who conquered, the Batman who conquered. Never trust Bruce Wayne." This means the main villain of this universe is Batman. Batman doesn't just have Infinity Stones. He has two baddies with him, Kara Danvers and Carol Danvers. Wait, why is her name Kara Danvers? Wasn't Supergirl's name Kara Zor-El? Am I tripping? Anyway, Batman is the main villain, but who is the hero? Actually, the Omnitrix is the key to defeating the one who conquered. So technically, Ben is the main character and protagonist of this universe? This universe is huge. It features Miles Morales, Spider-Gwen, Danny Phantom, Raven, Blackfire, Starfire, Teen Titans, and characters from Avatar, The Last Airbender, and many, many more. You can see all their artwork on the creators page. Like and subscribe for Ben 10 content, and let me know if you want to see Ben 10 Recalibrated.